It's one of those hip little cars that makes an impression. From its cyan-like lines to its houndstooth check upholstery, even its name is an exclamation mark. Let's get into the 2010 Kia Soul Exclaim and check the tech. Now, the Soul is not a big storehouse of tech toys. There's no navigation available on this guy. Where the display might go, you get, well, a storage bin. However, we have a couple of interesting features at this Exclaim trim level. I do have iPod connectivity. In fact, it's even iPhone connectivity. And this is all standard. This is not part of anything in a package or an option. This is what comes on the Exclaim. AM/FM radio. No HD radio, though. The CD aux button here takes us to either the auxiliary connected device, which in this case is our iPod, or to our CD, which is our single slot up here. And sat radio would be Sirius satellite radio. Notice the display is pretty good on all of this. It's a simple LCD with the red on black look, but there's a fairly good amount of information rammed in there. You can tell by the Bluetooth logo right here that we have Bluetooth hands-free. Again, that is standard on the Exclaim trim level. And in terms of your audio settings, you know, this is an upgraded system, but it's not surround sound or anything like that. So you got balance, fader, bass, middle, and treble. The wild thing about those speakers is not how you can make them sound, but how you can make them look. Seriously. These are called speaker lights. And no, I don't get them either. You've got a control down here, which I think gets entirely too much real estate for such a stupid feature, but here it is. Now, this is certainly the damnedest thing you'll ever see on a modern car audio system, but you know you'll play with it. Now, there are 8 of those speakers around the cabin. They aren't all lit up, of course. You've got these dash-facing tweeters, for example, they brag about a lot. There's a sub in the car, 315 watts of power behind all of this rig. Now, of course, as I mentioned, Bluetooth is standard on this car. Interestingly, it transfers your phone book by default into the head unit when you pair a phone. That's a kind of an advanced feature, but doesn't let you see the phone book anywhere on the screen. So how do you use it? With voice recognition. Watch this. Dial Brian Cooley.
On which number do you want to call? Brian Cooley. At home. At work. On mobile.
On mobile.
Calling.
Well, I'll be damned. Now, we have the optional transmission, which I wouldn't recommend. It's a 4-speed automatic. Something they got from the 1950s. I would definitely go for the manual gearbox, which is a 5-speed on this car. Now, herein lies the heart of the beast. On a base Soul, you get a crummy little 1.6-liter inline-4, but on all the other trim levels, including our Exclaim, we get this 2-liter inline-4. It's a very basic motor, kind of the way we used to make them. Not drive-by-wire, it's good old drive-by-cable. Good old Soviet-era technology up here, but it all works just fine. 142 horsepower, 137 foot-pounds of torque. The mileage is a pretty darn good 24 city, 30 highway. 0 to 60? Eventually. The shape of the Soul is definitely well penned. You may not like this kind of car, but you can't say they didn't do this kind of car well. Does the world need another cyan look-alike? Well, for Kia, anything hipper is a good direction. The Soul is a 2-row vehicle with a pretty good cargo bay in the back. And the seats fold down rather quickly to a nearly flat load floor. In general, driving a Soul is fun and an enjoyable experience. Just get a running start if you're tackling one of San Francisco's steeper hills. This Kia Soul Exclaim is about $16,950. You could almost spend that much on options on that guy. But that's another story. The only option here really is the automatic transmission, which I'd skip for $950.